It's a malformation. I don't feel guilty of being over 60s and shooting with young people. I think it would be horrible if there was a law not allowing to do that. In fact, Titian was around 90 and he was going on painting these incredibly fantastic bodies, naked bodies.
Stand by for rehearsal, please.
Can we get into the position, please? Eh? Sporco. Giusto. Ne vedrai le peggio. No, like that was good. And remember to be quite close to him when you speak to him, like that, yeah. I really don't know what I will do in the morning when I go to the set. I have to look around and I have to feel what is going on that special day. There's a certain atmosphere, and I want that atmosphere to be in the film.
38/3 and 2.
Action. Don't cover. No, I don't see anything. Tu la couvres avec ton visage. Refais-le. Plus de profil. Ecco, vas-y. Ouais. Ouais, comme ça. Bonjour. Good morning. And then you go here, again. And you try here, but something doesn't come out, so you go with your tongue. Yeah, with your tongue.
Okay.
Good morning.
What is that all about?
I was removing the sleep from your eyes. Theo lets me do his every morning.
Yeah.
My hair should be more messed up, no?
I don't know how when you wake up how you are. Aldo chiedeva se potrebbe essere un pochino più messed up nei capelli. Michael.
In the movies, everyone wakes up pretty and no one ever goes to the bathroom.
And they never go to the bathroom.
No, never.
And when they fuck, they just switch on a fireplace. There is always a fireplace with the flame. Maybe I didn't talk enough about young people when I was young. I wanted maybe to do more, so now I am recouping what I haven't done.
38/1, take 3.
Action.
What is that all about?
I was removing the sleep from your eyes. Theo lets me do his every morning.
This is strange thing to want to do.
Didn't you enjoy it?
Is that supposed to?
Naturally.
Cut. You move too many times. One, I think you should look at yourself. When she opens, you stand up. Yeah, you do a bit like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Second, it wasn't the voice of somebody who is really waking up. Like before you made it.
I need, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can stay up. When she opens, you get a bit up and remain like that, looking at what she's doing. She will start moving from object to object. More complicity. You are within a game now.
Yeah.
The games that the characters play in the film are very much the sort of film buff games that we did play in the 60s. For example, we'd throw out some line, which is clearly from a film, and everybody knew it was from a film, and then the game was who would be the first person to guess where it comes from, that sort of thing.
Queen Christina, where Greta Garbo bids farewell to the room in which she spent the night with John Gilbert.
Bravo!
And this kind of games playing between the two and then eventually between the three characters, this is in fact what the film is all about, because each scene reveals some new facet of their relationship.
Il est bon. I'm right.
C'est ce que je pense.
Quoi?
Bande à part.
Oh, t'as raison. Why are you two looking at me like that?
Godard's Bonaparte has always been one of my favorite films. In fact, I nominated one of the 10 greatest films ever made.
You remember the scene where the three of them race through the Louvre?
Vaguely, remind me.
And they try to beat the world record of 9 minutes and 45 seconds.
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
We're going to beat their record.
Oh.
Cut. Buona.
It seemed to me, given the importance of Godard and the kind of cultish quality of that film, that this is the sort of thing that my three characters would do.
It has to be like in the film. It's just a remake of the film, you know. There I'm quoting the director who is obsessed about quotation. I mean, Godard has been making quotations all the time.
Per favore?
And now I'm shooting the three kids of the Dreamers running through the Louvre. And I'm doing exactly the same shots.
And 28 seconds. We beat the record by 7 minutes.
The three kids find this fantastic harmony, and they are very, very attracted sexually. It's like if there was a missing piece which has been found. And maybe it's in this generation of young people during the 60s who wanted to transgress, who had to transgress, who had the mission to transgress, to go against the established values. Maybe the missing piece was missing because Theo and Isabel, brother and sister, couldn't go as far as a real incest.
Isabel.
So they needed somebody else.
What? Hey!
I think it's not predictable what happens in the apartment. There is a kind of constant surprise. When the relationship is becoming more and more intense, we see the three kids having bath together in the bathtub and foam and playing and regressing in a way, becoming more childish.
Nope. Stop.
And there's a moment when Matthew, who seemed to be the most naive of the three, in fact, he becomes the one who understands what's going on. He understands that Theo and Isabel, they will never grow up if they go on playing as they have done since they were babies.
You play these little games. I wish you could step out of yourselves and just look.
They have to stop this childish life. And he cannot be with them in that way. That's why I say one way to grow up is to split. The twins have to split.
Would you like to go out on a date with me? Just the two of us. Don't look at Theo. Isabel, you don't need his permission.
Yeah, okay. Matthew, I really would like to go out on a date with you.
Tonight?
All right.
jukebox is playing the most popular song of the moment. And there they are, playing the most conventional little couple.
Il y aura d'abord, parce que d'abord il y a une petite introduction et tu attends la voix pour venir.
67/1, take 2.
I tell you when, Eva. Action. No, cut.
And cut.
Stuart went too late.
67/1, take 3.
Action. Alors, je parle russe. Eva Green. You wait for the voice of Françoise Hardy and then you count. The voice, what did I say? The voice, la voce, vox, la voix. Very fun.
Okay, go. Stand by, here we go again. And quiet. Buoni.
67/1, take 6.
Action.
Tous les garçons et les filles de mon âge se promènent dans la rue plupart d'eux. Tous les garçons et les filles de mon âge savent bien ce que c'est qu'être heureux. Et les yeux dans les yeux, et la main dans la main, ils s'en vont amoureux, sans peur du lendemain. Oui, mais moi.
Then they are walking in a kind of empty square, and in a shop in a shop of televisions there is a TV set on, and we can see a bit of what's happening in reality around them, what they haven't in fact seen.
What had begun in March 1968 as a student revolt at Nanterre on the outskirts of Paris, by May had become a nationwide protest against the French political regime. Major factories were closed down by strikes, and in Paris, students occupied the University of the Sorbonne.
For the moment then, calm and even gaiety here with the students back in the university and in complete control of the place. They've even set up their own committees to organize their lectures and what they're going to do next.
The first scene in The Dreamers, depicting the events of May '68, takes place in the courtyard of the Faculty of Medicine. Bertolucci decided that a change of visual style was needed from the enclosed world of the apartment.
I saw myself in that courtyard of the Faculty of Medicine, and I looked a bit around and I understood that we were shooting in a different place, in a special place.
I would like to start with that, I move, and then when I go away.
That's why I decided to do something that in this film didn't really happen often, to go with one shot.
Did you know this? Did you know this song?
It was like pretending to start to shoot in a way that the film is never shot. Kind of a bit of acrobatic movement. The camera is on the crane, then the camera goes down to the almost the close-up of the characters.
Théo!
Salut.
Ça va?
Ça va?
Pourquoi t'es pas venu l'autre soir?
Excuse-moi, je pouvais pas, je suis désolé.
Enfin Théo, qu'est-ce qui t'arrive? On te voit presque plus.
Oui,
On
bon.
peut plus compter sur toi.
Arrête de me faire chier, Patrick.
Non, c'est
And then the cameraman walks out of the crane and start to walk, and it becomes a Steadicam movement with the characters.
pauvre type.
Coupé, pas mal. Bien, bon, buona.
As the demonstrations in the Latin Quarter became a serious threat to the government, they brought in the CRS, the riot police, just as they had a few months earlier at the Cinémathèque at Chaillot.
This was the first time in France that that generation of young people had actually managed to effect a change. And it may not have seemed a momentous change. It was, after all, the reinstating of a museum curator. But there was something there, a seed that was sown. And there was a sense that this kind of activism could actually succeed.
In '68, I was shooting a movie in Rome, a movie called Partner, which is a movie about what was going on. I was shooting in May '68, in fact, with Pierre Clementi, and I remember that every weekend Pierre Clementi was going back to Paris and was coming back with the new, fresh slogan just invented during that weekend, and with news about what was going on there, how incredible was the sense of freedom. But seen from outside, it's strange, because I didn't feel really part of that movement. I went through that moment of really ferocious need to transgress a few years before '68. So to me, in a way, was already past. I wasn't 20, I was a bit older. I was, I think in '68, I was 27. I remember that my best friends in cinema, like Godard, were very much involved with the little political groups. They were very attracted by Maoism, by the Cultural Revolution.
Well, last time we change every time.
And that created, in some case, some dramatic separation and split from my friends.
If you really believed what you were saying, you'd be out there.
Where?
Out there on the street.
I don't know what you mean.
Yes, you do. There's something going on out there. Something that feels like it could be really important. Something that feels like things could change. Even I get that.
The Latin Quarter after another night of violence. The burnt-out barricades are still in position. The tear gas still hangs in the air.
The main battleground of May '68 was in the Latin Quarter. But for the Dreamers, the production crew had to find an alternative location in the north of Paris.
After '68, the mayor of Paris took everything away because it was too dangerous to give all these bullets to the students. In fact, you can find them only in the rich part of Paris, where is no student at all.
It's very difficult to lock down a location for a long time and to shoot on the street and close down the roads of the main city, especially when you were going to turn over cars and have people throwing paving stones. It took a long time and a lot of persuading of different authorities in Paris that we could do that. It was touch and go really till the last minute, I have to say, although I kept that really, really quiet. It was only after getting a petition and every local person and choosing the date of August 15th when everybody is out of town, that we finally got permission.
When we started to shoot and to put the student, the fire, or the policemen, and it was very, very impressive, and I feel, I don't know, en français, j'avais la chair de poule.
In The Dreamers, A violent demonstration just outside the apartment finally brings the three main characters face to face with the reality of the time.
Theo, Isabel, try not, then I will come closer because of it. This is the only way. I mean, I like you to get lost in this crowd. Okay?
Stand by, here we go.
Big camera, Mark.
Action!
1, 2.
They did a wonderful job, but I just thought, no, this is not going to work because there were just elements that seemed to be missing, so crucial to the feel of or the look of those events. And then I saw the rushes, and it's amazing. It's what the cinema is all about. Suddenly there it was, and I had this sense of nostalgia, even of déjà vu, which to me is like a lesson in cinema somewhere. I was just assailed by these memories of '68.
Kids today know very little about '68. And I think that Louis was the one who has been more influenced by his background.
When I was younger, I've got a dream to remake May '68 and in a movie.
Coupé!
And I read the script and I saw it's about May '68. My dream is realized.
Okay.
Groupons-nous.
Okay.
Et demain, l'international sera le genre humain.
One day I was saying, I would love so much to throw a Molotov bottle against the police. And that was it in the script, and I let him say it, and then time passed. And then I felt that to make strong and more violent the difference between Matthew and the French twins, the idea of Louis Garrel of throwing a Molotov cocktail was a great idea.
C'était pas une très bonne idée. Je vais plus le faire.
He was grateful to me while I was grateful to him. And it was really this kind of exchange that there is in my way of shooting.
Another 13/6, take 5. Big camera, Mark.
Action!
Partez, action!
By the summer of 1968, after the country had been brought to a standstill, the trade unions made agreements with the government, and the student revolt eventually fizzled out.
But maybe these kids were dreaming of something absolutely impossible, and thank God it didn't happen in some way. They were, and so they considered the '68 a lost war.
I know in my generation, a lot of people want to kill this myth about May '68.
There's very little fiction about the 60s. There's very little cinema about the 60s. Even in France, it's amazing. It's almost like a kind of self-censorship. And I think it's high time that we rehabilitate May '68 and February '68 as well.
Now everybody can go home. There is nothing to look at.
I know that I am in that phase of my life when I'm sure that shooting keeps me alive, very alive. makes my life much more full and passionate. And so I think that the only way is to start today a new film. The only way to survive.
In The Dreamers, when this brick crashes through the window, it shatters the reverie of the characters in the story, and in some way it symbolises what